If any student is absent, but he submit the assignment, I'm not consider that assignment. Okay, and if you are presenting the present to the class, and if you are not submitting the assignment, simply I'll put the zero. That's it. Now, so here, so in previous session we discussed about the operator overloading using friend function. Okay, and then we start the new topic, that is the inheritance concept. Okay, now today we are going to see how to write the each and every type of inheritance program in C++. So inheritance is a new concept in the C++ programming. So how to write that inheritance concept program? Okay. Now already we discussed this one, but I want to show you the slide. That is what is single inheritance. So what is single inheritance? So in this type of inheritance, we have only one base class and we have only one derived class. That's it. We don't have any number of classes here. We have only two classes. One class acts like a, yeah. So in this type of inheritance, one derived class inherits from only one base class. Means we have only two classes. Now you can see here, we have only first class, it is a base class, and we are deriving the new class from this base class. So it is derived class. So we have only one base class and one derived class. That's it. Okay. Now, so how to implement this single inheritance in C++? Now we'll see that with the program. Okay. I'm going to the online compiler. Okay. So parallelly, you can execute the program if you have any laptops or mobile environment compilers. Now I'm going to type the program. So here I'm taking that. Okay. And we are using space. Now, now I want to take the inheritance concept and I want to take the one base class and one derived class. So I'm taking one class first of all. It is my class A. Okay. So in class A, suppose I'm taking the public access specifier here. Okay, public access specifier. So below that I'm going to declare the data members. Suppose it is A. Okay, this only A. Now I want to initialize the value to this one using constructor. So simply I'm taking the user defined the constructor, and here I'm going to assign the value for the A data member, that is A. Okay. Now you can take the display. You can take the display function here also. So display, and here is going to display the value. So it is, I'm taking the function name as display A. So see out, that is A is, that is A is, we have it A value. Okay. Now I'm closing the class. So this is my only class A. Okay, only A. So I'm taking one constructor, I'm taking one display function in a class A. Now come to class B. I want to take the same like class A in a class B also. Now I'm creating the class B. Okay, I'm creating the class B.
Ma'am, voice is not clear.
So yeah, I'm taking the class B. So here I'm taking the public access specifier.
Ma'am,
So
voice is not clear.
I don't know. Only you have a problem with my voice, I think.
No, ma'am. See in chat box once.
Oh, is it okay? Hello.
But
What, Mumtaz?
what is some of the ma'am?
Mm, is it okay? Is it okay? No. Yeah. Thank you, Vinay. My voice is somewhat low. Okay. Okay. Now okay. Now let's complete this one. So I'm taking the one more class that is a B. Okay. So in B, I'm going to take the class. I'm going to take the data member. Here it is a B. Okay. I'm taking the constructor to initialize the B data member. That is B equal to. I'm taking the assets of 20. Okay. Now I'm taking the display function to display the value of this B class data member B. So listen carefully. Capital letters are the class names and small letters are the data members names. So I'm taking the B class capital B, and in that I'm taking the small b as a data member. Okay, so remember that. And here I'm going to display the B data member. Next, here, next we need to take the main function, that is in, into main. Okay, so into main I'm going to create the objects, okay, for the class A as well as the class B. Okay, so that is my class A name is class name is A, first one. I'm taking that object as obj A. And I'm creating the B class obj B. Okay, next. Now in this, here, now I need to call the display function of A class as well as a B class. I need to call the display function of A class as well as a B class. Now how to call that one? Using the object name, that is obj A dot display A. It is a display A. Now I need to call the B class function. B class function. Satish 208. Who is this 208? Satish, please leave the class. Just leave the class. I'm not going to provide the attendance for you, even though if you are using the total class. Please leave the class. Do you have minimum common sense? Yeah. Now come to this display function of obj b dot display. Simply, if anybody disturbing the class, please leave the class. I'm not going to provide the attendance for those people. By mistakenly, fortunately, or unfortunately, whatever happen, just I'm not going to provide the attendance for those people, those who are listening in the class. That's it. Okay. Now I'm going to take the display function. Display. Okay. Now, how to write the inheritance concept in this program? Now listen carefully. Okay. Now I want to derive the class. Is my screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am. It's
Yes,
visible.
ma'am. It is
Yeah.
visible.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Now you can see here how to inherit the property of A class into the B class. So what is my derived class? What is my second class name? That is a class B. So here you need to take the syntax like colon, yeah, colon, and next we need to take the access specifier. So what are the access specifier? We have a public, private, protected. Okay, you can take any specifier here. Suppose I need to take the public. Why? Because I need to take the A class members into the B class. So public, and from which class I need to take the data members from A class. So this is the syntax to create the single inheritance. Single inheritance. Okay. Uh, just wait a minute. Yeah. Is my screen is visible? Yes. So this is the derived. I mean, this is the inheritance syntax. This is a single level inheritance. Single level inheritance means we have only one base class and direct class. So when you are taking the syntax, what is the meaning of the syntax means here? So this is class B is a child class and that is derived from the class A. So that is the meaning. So left hand side after before left hand I mean before colon we have a class here. So before colon there is a class that is the child class and after colon we have a one more class name that is the base class. So if you are taking like this syntax, we are deriving the properties, total properties. Suppose if I am taking access specifier here public. Okay. So what is the meaning of public here? So if you have a public and protected members, so those can be derived into the B class. But private members cannot be inherited into the B class. Why? Because in private members we can access only within the class itself, not in the other classes. Okay. So I'm taking the public here for the data member A as well as the display function. Means I can derive the total class into the B class. Means I can access the A data member through B class data member. Okay, I mean B class. And I can access the display A function in class B also. Now, so this class B having the own features. So what are the features of this one? So what is the meaning here? So this total public members are derived into this particular derived into this particular class B. So I'm going to take the commonness for this one. Okay. So these all lines, whatever A class consists of data members and member functions, all those are inherited into the B class. So like this, so total is one copy is created in the B class here. And this class B having the own features, that is the we have a one data member B and I'm taking the constructor for B class and I'm taking one display function. Okay. Now using the B class object, I can access the A class data members as well as the member function. Now here you can see here, I am creating the object for the A class as well as the B class and I am calling the display function for those data members and those member functions using the respective object name, that is obj.display and obj.display B. Okay. Now I want to perform something. Why? Because I'm accessing the A class data member into the B class, means I can use that A data member into the B class. Okay. So simply, if you want to check it out whether you are accessing the A class data member or not, simply you just go to display function and display the value of A. So A is here, and before this here I'm just taking the one more single statement. It is B class, B class, B class. Okay. Now see here. So I'm calling the obj dot display as well as the obj a dot display. Now just taking the return statement and you can compile the program or run the program, so you can see the what is the output for this. Now you can see here A is 10. So A is belongs to A class data member, that is capital A. Okay. And B class. So now B class data members. So what are the B class data members? We have only actually B data member only. But I am deriving the A class data member into the B class. So what is A is here 10 means we can access the A class data member into the B class. Now you can perform any operation on this one. So once if you can access the data member, you can you can use that data member in a derived class here. Okay, is this clear, everyone? What is single inheritance? Single level
Yeah.
inheritance? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Now, what is the assignment?
Ma'am,
Yeah. Tell me.
why you are taking public there?
Where, no? Public? Uh, here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can take any access specifier here, whether it is public or private or protected. You can take any access specifier. I think already we discussed this one. Na? So here, the slide. Once you can see the slide.
What happens if we take private or protected, ma'am?
Yeah.
What is the difference?
So what is the difference means now? I think already we discussed this one. Now you can see this. Once see the PPT. Now this is my base class, so this is derived class. So if the base class consists of private, public and protected members, and I want to derive the base class properties into the derived class. So here in red color, I am taking the access specifier. Here we can take the public, private or protected. Any access specifier in a red color space here. So what happened when you are taking the public and what happened when you are taking the private and what happened when you are taking the protected. Now let's see this one. Okay, so is my screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Now you can see here. Suppose if base class consists of private and public and protected members. So like this. If the base class consists of private, protected and public members. Now suppose in red color I'm using the public access specifier. Suppose instead of this red color access specifier I'm using the public. So what happened when you are using the public? So whether you're using the public or protected or private access specifier instead of this red color, you cannot inherit the private data members into the other class. Means private means secure. Only within that class only we can access that one. We cannot inherit the properties into the other class. Means whether you are using the public, even though you are using the public, so those members cannot be inherited into the derived class. Private members cannot be inherited into the derived class. Now suppose if the base class consists of public members and if you are using the public access specifier, so those can be inherited into the derived class and those members acts as a public. Okay, means public always public here when you're using the public access specifier. So public members acts like a public in the derived class also. Now once suppose if the base class consists of protected members and if you are using the inheritance concept access specifier as a public, so these protected members acts like a protected only. Always protected is protected. The protected members cannot be changed. Whether you are using public, protected or private, protected members acts like a protected only. Okay. Now once come to the second one. Suppose if the base class having this private, public and protected, and if you are using the access specifier as a protected, so these private members cannot be inherited. And what about public members? So public members acts like a protected in the derived class. Okay. And what about protected? Protected means always protected. Then come to the private here. Suppose instead of this red color, I'm using a private. What happened? So private cannot be inherited, and public members and protected members acts like a private. If you are using the access specifier instead of this red color as a private, so whether if the base class consists of public protected and those members acts like a private in the derived class or the inheritance class. Is this clear, Soumyasri?
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So, so here in this program, just I'm taking only public. This is the only public. Suppose I'm taking the public here. Now suppose you can take here before in class A, before public member, I can take suppose some X data member. Now what is X here? It is a private, isn't it? Now here in constructor, I'm taking the X value also. X value is 30. Suppose X value is 30. Okay. Now suppose, so when you're taking this one, so these private data member cannot be inherited into the B class. Why? Because it is a private. So private only we can access within the class only. We cannot use those members outside the class or the derived class. Now suppose here I am taking the x value as a private. Now suppose I am going to print the x value in the B class. So in this previous one, I'm displaying the A as well as the B. Why? Because A is a public data member. So simply I can use that one. Suppose I'm trying to print the, I want to print the X value also. Now see what happened when you are taking this one. So X is, okay. Now, so can we access this one? So let's try this one. So I'm going to run the program. Now you will get an error. See here. What is that error? So A colon X is private. Means this X is belong to this particular class A only. So within this context only we can use that one. But this X is a private data member. You cannot use that into the derived class or the base class. So this is the meaning of the this private element. You can see here. So in B class with the display function, I'm using the X data member. But this X data member belongs to which one? A class, and it is a private data member. So we cannot inherit the private data members into the child class or the data class. Okay. So this is about the single level inheritance. Is this clear, or do you have any doubts regarding single inheritance? Yeah. Anybody still? Anybody have any doubts? You can ask me. I will go to the next type of inheritance. Otherwise, I'm going to the next type of inheritance. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Ramya. Now we'll go to the second level of inheritance. I mean, second type of inheritance. So, what is the second type of inheritance? Now, once come to the PPT again. So, this is my second type of inheritance. That is a multi-level inheritance. So what is a multi-level inheritance here? So we have a three classes or more than three classes. Single means we have only two classes. One is base class and the second one is the derived class. Now come to the multi-level inheritance. You need to take the three or more than three classes. Okay, if you are taking two classes, it is single level only. So if you want to take the multi-level concept, you need to take minimum three classes or more than three classes. You can take any number of classes, n number of classes. So how to inherit the properties here? So in this type of inheritance, a derived class is created from another derived class. What is the meaning of this one? Well, suppose I'm taking the class A. Okay. Now from class A, I will derive the one more class B. Okay. Now, so what is class A and class B here? Class A is a base class and class B is the derived class. Okay. Now, from class B, I'm going to derive one more class, new class, that is a C class. So from this one, from B to C, just see the about class B and class C. So what is class B and class C relationship here? Class B is a base class for the class C, and class C is a derived class for the class B. Okay. Now see here. So this class B acts like a children or derived class for the class A, and class B is acts like a parent class or the base class for the class C. So means this B is acts like an intermediate between the class A as well as the class C. Okay. Means suppose class A is your grandfather and class B your father and class C and you. Okay. So means here your father is son to your grandfather as well as your father is acts like a father. I mean acts like a father to you. Okay. So that is your father is intermediate or connection between your grandfather as well as you here. So this class B is acts like an intermediate class. So when you're taking the class A, class A is a base class and class B is a derived class. That's it. But when you're deriving one more class from this B, so already this B is derived from A. Again from the derived B class, I'm going to derive one more C class here. So that is the concept here. So from derived class, you are going to derive in the one more derived class here. So in that case, that middle class acts like a intermediate class, or the connection between the higher level class and the lower level class. Okay. Now we'll see this with the program. So how to take this concept into the programming part. Okay. Now once again go to the online compiler. Now we'll see how to write the program multi-level. Okay. Now here, suppose I'm just removing this one. Just I'm going to modify this program. That's it. I'm not going to type it again because only we have small changes here. Yeah. So here, listen now. So we have a lab program from this topic. Okay. We have a lab programs. Now here, class B is there. Yes, I'm going to do this one. I'm going to remove this. Also. Now, so here I'm going to take one more class. Remember, we need to take the three classes now. So I'm taking one more class and it is the C class. Now, if you want to take this, now, so here in class C, I need to take the, I need to derive the properties of class B. In that case, what is the syntax? Class C, colon, and public, the public access specifier simply, and from B class I need to access the values. Okay, I need to access the members. So here in C class having the own feature. Again C class having the own features. Suppose I'm taking the here some members. Suppose it is into C, small c, that is belong to capital C class. And here also I'm taking the constructor to initialize the value to this particular C data number. Suppose it is a 30. Okay. So I'm going to display the value also. That is display. Display C. I want to display the value that is belong to C class. Now you can take the statement C out. C is contain the value here C. Now this class is ending with a semicolon. Now what is the meaning of this one? See here. So this A class is having the data number A and function display function A. And this B class is a derived class to class A. Okay, and here this total public data members and member functions are derived into the B class. Means one copy will be created in the B class here. Now from B class I am deriving one more class, that is the C class. So this is the syntax. We are going to write the syntax like this: class C colon public, access specifier, and from which class we need to derive. So this is the second class is B class. And this C class having the own feature, that means the C data member, and you have a display function C. Okay. Now, now you can see just I'm going to display the values in C, that is belong to class A data members as well as the class B data members also. I need to print the A class data members as well as the B class data members in a C class. So you can see here. Now we are in the C class and the A data member, B data member as well as the C data member. I need to display the C data member also. Okay. Now I need to
Ma'am, we are unable to see your screen.
what?
Ma'am, your screen is not visible, ma'am.
Is the screen is not visible? Okay,
Someone is playing Subway Surfers.
wait a minute. I will share again. I will share it once again. Is it
Yes,
okay?
ma'am. Now it's visible. Yes, ma'am. It's okay.
Yeah, thank you. Now you can see here, I want to create the class B object also. Class A object. So C, obj, C. Okay. Now I need to call the display function of the particular C class function. So objc dot display. Display. Now try to
Screen is not visible.
yes.
Screen is not visible, ma'am.
I'm sharing my screen. Maybe you have some problem. Just pin it on my name. Pin it on my
No,
name.
ma'am, someone is presenting screen. So that's it. We are unable to see your screen.
Who is that?
Satish.
Someone, Satish.
Ma'am, It's not visible, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Again, they are presenting the screen. Now your screen is not visible, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now it's visible.
Okay. Now that person is in this. Now here is where he is. We'll see that later. So is my screen visible now?
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am, it
yeah.
is.
Okay. Now see here.
Yes,
So this is
ma'am.
my,
Now it's visible.
yeah. No, thank you, ma'am. Now I'm going to I'm going to run this program. Now you can see here what you are getting the output. Now you can see. Okay. So A class data member. I'm calling the display function belong to A class. So what is the value in that here? 10 value. Okay. Now come to the B class. So in B class, I can access the A class data member as well as the B class data member. So what are the values here? 10 and 20. A is belong to A class and value is 10, and B is belong to class B and the value is 20. Now come to the C class. So what is the C class? We are deriving the C class from the B class. So what is a B class? It is deriving from the A class. Means A and B class data members can be inherited into the C class here. Means maybe your grandfather as well as the parent, teachers, maybe you can acquire into your body. Okay, maybe grandfather.
Ma'am, okay.
Hello,
Ma'am, your screen is
Sir,
not
try to
visible.
presenting the screen,
Someone is
ma'am.
Again,
who is that stupid?
Don't know, ma'am.
Satish, do not like.
Now he left off.
No, ma'am. He's still in the meeting.
This Satish is belongs to your class.
No idea, ma'am, because I have changed his name because there is no such type of phone number in our batch.
So here I'm not going to share this link to anybody now. Simply you are getting the link through Google or in Gmail. That's it. Then how our link is going to some other persons. Now someone is sharing the link to his brother or father. I mean sisters like that, and they are
Maybe that
disab-
particular person only changing his name and coming and doing like this.
Yeah, yeah.
In MS
What Ramya?
class also he disturbed.
Oh, okay. We'll see. We'll see that. I
Yeah,
will.
we never see his class as Ramya said. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So from next class onwards, just I am not going to use the auto admit here. So while you are entering into the class, I want to admit the student. Otherwise, he is not going to join in the class. Okay, just I will put the option that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now,
Ma'am,
we'll see here. Yes.
now you can remove
Yes.
him that he
Yes. Ma'am.
will not join. He cannot join
Yeah. Okay.
again.
Yeah. 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 So now, suppose wait.
Now you can remove him.
Yeah, I need to remove them. Once in next class, I'll see that first and okay. So we have only 3 minutes now. We have 10 minutes. We need to complete that topic here. So now we can see here C class can access the data members of A class, B class, and its own members here. So what is the A value here 10 and B value is 20 and C value is 30 means I can access the A class data member as well as the B class data member into the C class. So this is a multi-level inheritance. So when you are taking a multi-level inheritance, the last class can inherit the properties of previous classes, and that is depending on the access specifiers. When you are using access specifier as a private or protected and public, based on that we can inherit the properties. Suppose, so here I am using all or public. Suppose here in C class access specifier, or suppose in B I am taking uh, this as a B as a private data member and remaining functions are the public data members. Now can I access this B data member in the C class if I am using the public here? Anyone? Can I access the B data member in C class? No. Why? Because it is a private. Here, this B is private now. You cannot access this private data member into the C class. Whether you are using the public or private or protected access specifier in this place, you cannot access those private data members into the derived class. So let's try to run this program. So what happened? So when you are taking the B as a private and you are taking access specifier as a public. Now you can see here. Again we are getting the error here. So C display C. So you are getting the error in the display function that is belongs to C class. So what is that error here? This B data member belongs to class B, capital B. So it is a private data member and it is a private data member. We cannot access that into the derived class. So like that we are getting the errors. Okay. Now suppose if it is a protected, I'm taking the data member, it is a B class data member as a protected. Okay, as a protected. Now can I access this data member now? Can I access this data member? Yes, why? Because it is yes, it is protected. So if you are taking the protected data members up to the derived class, you can access that one. You can get the output from this program. You will get the output from this program. Why? Because it is a protected. Protected means up to derived class. In next level, you can use that data member into the child class or the derived class. But when you take the private, so we cannot inherit that properties into the child class level. So this is about the multi-level inheritance. Is this clear now? Yeah, thank you. Now let's go to the third one. What is the third one here? Multiple inheritance. So what is the multiple inheritance? Now once come to the PPT. So what is the multiple inheritance? I think probably no. So this is the multiple inheritance. We have a class here. Now this second one. See the second one. So these are multiple inheritance. We have a you have a three classes or more than see. We have three classes here and the camera and mobile phone. These two are the base classes and we have one derived class. Or else you can take n number of base classes and you can take one derived class from that one. Multiple inheritance means from number of classes, from n number of classes, you are going to derive into the one derived class, one child class. Okay, so you are going to derive the properties of n number of classes into the one class, then it is called as a multiple inheritance. And what is the condition here? You need to take the minimum two classes, base classes, and one as a derived class. Or else you can take more than two base classes, more than two base classes if you are using the multiple inheritance. Now we will see that program here. So how to write the syntax when you are taking the multiple inheritance? So how to write the multi-level syntax here? Is this clear? How to write the multi-level inheritance here? So here class B call it public A, and from come to the class C again you will take the public class B. Okay, so this is the case. Now when you're taking the multiple inheritance, now see what happened. Now just I'm taking the just removing this one. Just come to the class C. So in class C, I want to derive the A as well as B. I want to derive the A as well as B into the C class now. So here I'm taking the public access specifier. I want to derive the A class as well as the B class. So you need to take the syntax like that. Yeah, okay.
Ma'am, you have muted yourself, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Now you can see here, so this is the syntax to write the multiple inheritance. I am deriving the class C from class A as well as the class B here. So if you want to take the one more class here, so take the comma operator here, and you can take the access specifier, and you can take the class. Suppose it is a some X class. So like that you can take the multiple inheritance here. So take the access specifier, mention the class name, comma, followed by the next class access specifier and the class name. So like this you can take the okay. Now I want to access the A and B class data members into this one. So I can take this one as a protected. Take this. So it is not a private now. It is a protected. Okay. Now, now try to run this program now. Only these are the modifications. That's it. Only these are the modifications. We are getting some error. That is A. So this A here, I have taken it as a private. Right? Yeah, now you can see here. So B is not the derived class of A. We cannot access the A class data members into the B class. Why? Because A is different and B is different class, and we are deriving the new class from these two classes. Means in A class, I cannot, and I mean in B class, I'm not going to access the A class data member. So that's why we are getting the error. Okay, now try to run this one. Now you can see the output here. So A class data member A value is 10 and B class data member B value is 20. And in C class, I can access the A as well as the B data members here. So what is the previous output when you're taking the multi-level inheritance? In B class, I can access the A class members also. But when you're taking the multiple inheritance, we cannot access the A class member into the B class. Why? Because A is different class and B is a different class. Both are different classes and these two classes acts like a base class for the C class here. Means in C class, we can access the A class, B class as well as C class data member also. So this is about the multiple inheritance. Is this clear everyone?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, good. So up to this, I'm going to stop the class here. Why? Because we have two more inheritance. So what are the two more inheritance? We have a hierarchical inheritance and the hybrid inheritance is that. So what is the hierarchical inheritance? You can take the common, I mean, what is the hierarchical inheritance? It is the opposite to your multiple inheritance. So what is the multiple inheritance? You can take n number of base classes, one derived class. And come to the hierarchical inheritance here. So we have a one base class like this. We have one base class. From one base class, we can derive n number of children or n number of child classes or derived classes. So this is the hierarchy inheritance. In hybrid inheritance, we can take the combination of any type of inheritance. Now suppose let's try to hierarchical. Why we have 5 more minutes now. Let's come to the hierarchical inheritance. So there is a hierarchy inheritance, one base class, number of derived classes. So here I'm taking the class A, and in class B, in class B, now you can see here class B. Now I'm taking only one class A, and from A class I'm deriving the number of child classes. So here I need to take the class A here. So here I can access the A class data members into the B class, as well as when I come to the C class. In C also I need to access the A class data member. You can see here, one see the syntax of class B as well as the class C. And this class B and class C are the child classes. Who is that stupid ma? He is reaching the total class. Kranti bola. Who is that Kranti? Kranti. Yes, you can see here the syntax of B class and the C class. So class B colon, and from which class you need to derive the properties. So write that one. And class C also again. So this B and C class having the common parent or common base class, that is a class. So this is the syntax to write the hierarchical inheritance. So now in class B I can access the A class also. If you're taking the data inheritance means you can access the base class properties here. I can take the A is here. You can print the A value that belongs to class A by using this concept. And when you're taking the multiple inheritance, so it is not possible. And when you're taking multi-level and when you're taking hierarchical, it is possible to access the base class like this. Okay. Now come to the class C. So in class C, if you are taking the multiple inheritance, we can access the class B data members into the class C. And when you are taking the syntax like this here, we can access only A class data members here. You can see the syntax here. We can access only A class data members into the C class. So what are the A class data members? Only A data members. And what about this C class data member? Only C. But what about this B here? It is belongs to some other class, that is a B class. But I am not going to derive the B class into the C class. I am deriving only A class properties into the C class. So in that case, we cannot access this one. Okay? It is not possible to access the other class members into the one class if you are not using any inheritance concept here. Now let's try to run this program here. Okay, now you can see here I'm getting some class. I need to some semicolon here. Wait a minute. I missed this one.
Please
Yes.
mute all mics, ma'am.
Yes. Sushant. Who is that Sushant?
Ma'am, someone is frequently changing names.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Ma'am, 16th line error.
16 to 9. 16 to 9, it is okay.
Public access.
Yeah, yes, good. So it is it's the public access festival. Yes, good mark. Very good, very good. Excellent. Now, you can run this one. Yeah, now we are getting it. Now you can see A class value, data member, and B class data member. Means in B class I can access the A, B values. In C class also I can access the A data members as well as its own properties, that is the C class. So in B as well as C I can access the A data member. You can see here in two classes I can access the A data member. And come to the B class, it's having its own data member, that is a B, and the value is 20. And come to the C class data member, it has its own data member, that is a C, that is the value is 30. So this is about the hierarchical inheritance. Okay. Now, yes, I'll stop this one. Now, what is the assignment for today is, you can take the, yeah. So multi-level inheritance. Take the multi-level inheritance, and in multi-level inheritance, what are the data members are rule number and name. Okay, so take the base class one class. So there just define the data members as roll number and name. So access those roll number and name into the two derived classes. Multi-level means in B class I need to access the A class data member, roll number and name, and in come to the C class data member also I need to access the A class roll number and name, and come to the B class. Suppose if there is a marks in the B class, I need to access the B class marks into the C class also. Okay, so this is the assignment for today. Okay, yeah. So do you have any doubts up to here? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. And you can leave the class. You
Ma'am,
can you repeat the assignment? Yeah. So what is the assignment here? Multi-level inheritance. So what is the multi-level inheritance? We need to take one base class. From that you can derive the child class, and from the derived class you can take the one more, that one. Okay. Now you can see here. So this is the multi-level inheritance. This is the one. This is a multi-level inheritance. So class A take the numbers as, data members as roll number and name. So from class A derive the class B, means I can access
Ma'am,
the roll
tomorrow
number and,
continue, ma'am. Here today is so much of disturbance.
yeah,
Already
okay,
time
okay.
also finished.
I'm giving the assignment. I'm explaining the assignment here. So class A take the numbers as roll number and name, and in class B I need to access the roll number and name into the B class. And B class is having own data member, that is the marks or grade. Okay. Now come to the C class, I need to access the B class as well as the A data members into the C class. Okay. So this is the assignment for today. Okay. So here, if you have that much of bill, please come to the college and talk to me. If you don't have there, then simply leave the class. Yeah, I will type the assignment in the chat box. I mean in the WhatsApp group. Okay. If you have any doubts, I'll just
Can we leave, ma'am?
repeat that assignment in the WhatsApp group. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And you can leave the class. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, Lakshmi Prasanna. Thank you, Vamshi. Thank you, Bharadwaj. Please don't share the link to anyone. Don't share the link. Don't share the link.
Excuse me, ma'am.